everybody, and welcome to another edition of Menopause Made Easy with Tanya. And today we're going to dive into, oh my God, Tanya, help me. I know the importance of eating and exercising, but I just struggle to be consistent with these habits because I have competing priorities and I'm just fatigued or I lack motivation, but I know what I should be doing. Okay. And this is called cognitive dissonance. All right. So, cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort we experience when our beliefs, values, or attitudes conflict with our actions or decisions. So, I absolutely have some cognitive dissonance in certain areas of my life. So, I want you to just notice where this may come up for you, and then I'm going to give you some strategies as to how to work through this. So, a lot of these things, like I said, we know what to do. We know to eat a healthier diet. We know to add some movement to our life. We know to lift weights. We know to decrease our stress. We know that we should sleep better. And yet we don't. Okay. And so we have this struggle. Excuse me. We have this struggle. So, as I mentioned when we started here, we can have, a woman, let's call her Betty. Okay. Betty believes in the importance of healthy eating and exercise, but struggles to consistently implement these habits due to competing priorities, fatigue, or lack of motivation. Right. And so this resulting dissonance might lead to rationalizations like, okay, do any of these sound familiar? I don't have time for exercise. One unhealthy meal won't hurt me. Okay, so one of the things that I've said from the beginning of my podcast is watch yourself like a movie. Watch your thoughts. Okay, 95% of our day is spent unconscious. We are run by programs. Okay, that's another episode, but we are run by programs that are pretty much set in place by the age of 35. Actually, they are set in place by the age of 35, which makes change more challenging. Okay. So if you're younger than 35 in your 20s and teens and you happen to be listening to this, or you're older and you have grandchildren, really look at their habits and just see, how we can gently guide them, because it's so important. We are a product of our habits, which I've said many times before. Right? So notice how many times you give yourself these excuses and you rationalize, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time to cook healthy meals. I don't have enough time to work out. One healthy meal won't hurt me. Right? And just notice how many times you're saying them. And are they conflicting with your desire to feel better, to lose weight, to drop body fat, to get more energy? All right. So understanding and addressing this discomfort can be a very powerful way to help menopausal women adopt healthier eating and exercise habits. And it's one thing we talk a lot about in my midlife reboot. And one thing I've been practicing for many, 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 many years is how to sit in discomfort, how to sit in discomfort without reacting, reaching, distracting, right? Moving through that discomfort. Because I'll tell you, I've been working out for decades, I've been eating healthy for decades, and yet there are still times that I hear these voices and I have to motivate myself to just go do 1 minute of something, which leads into more, or to eat a healthier meal instead of a not healthier meal. And I've got the rationalization and all this stuff. So it happens to me. I just am maybe more aware of it, or maybe you are, or maybe you're not at all, right? So I've really done a lot of work over this last decade and a half to really watch myself. And I wrote about this in my book, Cookie Dough in the Dark, right? Because I had a horrible eating addiction to avocados. No, I'm just kidding. To all things sweet. All right. Okay, so here are some strategies to help you improve your eating and exercise habits. Maybe some of them you've heard about before. Maybe some of them are new to you today. Find the easiest one that resonates with you and start to practice it for a month. Don't do all of them. It's too overwhelming. You'll shut down. We have time. We're not in a race. Okay, so just pick one, work on it, and then pick on another one. But we have to align our habits with our core values. And, if you go back and listen to episode, I think it's 6A and 7A, making a menopausal plan, right? It's really important to understand what your core values are. And so one of the things to do is ask yourself, why? Why do you want to make healthy changes? Why do you want to eat healthier? Why do you want to exercise? And some examples that I've heard from people are I want to stay active for my grandchildren because I want to be able to get down on the floor. I want to be able to take them to the pumpkin patch. I want to be able to, have Christmas and go up and down and play with them with all their toys, right? So this is a huge why for many people. It's got to be heartfelt why. Saying I want to lose weight is not enough. It's not enough. It has to be a deeper why. It has to hit into your heart and soul. Okay. Another deep why for many people is I want to prevent chronic disease. One of my whys is a positive spin, but I see myself in my 80s, red dress on the dance floor, vibrant, energetic, flowing, moving, passionate about life, right? I really hold on to that. And it does help me sometimes when I'm making choices that aren't in alignment with that goal. Again, I'm not perfect, but it can definitely stop me from indulging if I just take that time to really think about my why. All right. So having a strong why really helps you to see how your actions or inactions, okay, align or conflict with these deeply held values that you have within you and can be a motivation for change. All right. So that can be one. Align your habits with your core values. If you haven't spent any time with your core values, that's a great exercise to do. And again, we do this in our midlife reboot program. So normalize the struggle and create a growth mindset. So I have done a podcast on growth mindset versus, oh my goodness. Oh, what is the other one? Oh, jeepers, I forget. Anyway, Carol Dwartz, WZEX or something, WZEZ, wrote a book, or Dwerk, DWERK, I think it is, wrote a book about this growth mindset. And it'll come to me what the other one is, but address your self-blame, right? So acknowledge, I'm talking about menopausal women here, acknowledge that menopause can bring on some psychological changes, hormone shifts, slower metabolism, right? That can make some of these changes more challenging, but not impossible. So we're not a teenager anymore. So things are going to be slower. This is one of the things that when I'm working with clients, they really have to work on patience. They really want things faster than they're going to come. And there can be definitely some things that are quick wins, but there's also things that just take time. Your cells need time to adjust. All right. So address self-blame, noticing, again, when you are feeling some of these psychological changes, slower metabolism, hormonal shifts, understand that they're there, and just know that as frustrating as it can be at times, it's not impossible. Okay. And then if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. So failing is not a bad thing. And for years, I thought failure meant I'm a failure. And really, it took me down a rabbit hole. And then I would go into a shame spiral and an eating spiral. And it really wasn't good. So reframe your failures. Like, treat setbacks as a learning opportunity rather than a failure. What did I learn from this? And what I have learned is, like, I have some social anxiety. So when I'm in a social situation, to calm myself, I tend to eat. Okay. I didn't understand that about myself until I did some deep reflection. How powerful my environment is. So I'm taping this on December 31st. You're not going to hear this till March, but I took a learning opportunity that sometimes when I'm in an environment like Christmas, it's a little more challenging, or a lot more challenging, not to stay on my eating path like it was in March, for example. Okay, so it's not that I'm a failure, it's just that the environment is a little more challenging for me. And some of you may have this issue or not, but I'm highly when I eat things sometimes, I get in a trance and I become like a binge eater. I lose track of time. I lose track of how much I've eaten. And my environment can really play into that. So again, it's not that I'm a failure or I have an overeating problem. It's that I'm starting to identify when this happens, this happens. So how can I get to the root cause and address this issue? So it's taking a step back from yourself and doing some self-reflection. All right. So you want to reframe your failures. So that's kind of like number two. Now, number three is provide education and realistic expectations. So when you understand, and this is what's really, really, really helped me and why I talk about this a lot in my podcast, when you talk about the fact you're a cellular being, or how menopause affects your metabolism, or how important muscle mass is to have on your body, or how hormones affect your mood, how diet and exercise can help mitigate these effects. When you understand how these dots are connected, you become more powerful and you know that you can make empowered choices. All right. So I find personally that being educated and empowered and then practicing failing really helps me. All right. And so you can, when you're focused on your diet, you can look for small, sustainable steps like incorporating one more vegetable at dinner, cutting down on processed food, practice mindful eating, which I've been doing lately, no screens, nothing like that, just actually chewing my food, tasting my food. It's a challenge because so many of us eat, we don't even taste what we're eating. We're just like, I got 20 minutes to eat, or I'm distracted. So those are some really helpful strategies. And then, with exercise, I've said this, 18,000 plus times, is you just got to start with 5 to 10 minutes, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever it is of strength training or walking, which is going to help build your confidence and get into some consistency. And then your body actually craves it. So it's interesting. Christmas this year fell on a Wednesday. So Tuesday and Thursday, I didn't teach classes. I usually teach every Tuesday, Thursday. And my body was actually on Tuesday and Thursday itching for a workout, which I did because I was like, but that's how ingrained it gets into you. Like I'm ingrained to go outside with my dogs. I mean, like there are certain things where I have to do them because they make me feel so good. And my body kind of goes, okay, you got to do them. Now, I love this because Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I've been studying for years, and we've just wrapped up. Well, we haven't started yet, but by March, we will have wrapped up our book club for Dr. Joe Dispenza. He says we are chemically addicted to feelings. And I get this. I get it. I can feel it. So I'm chemically addicted. It can be good or bad to working out, to getting outside nature, to cuddling with my pets, right? But you can also be chemically addicted to shame and guilt and fear and worry and chaos and drama, right? And so you have to, when you really start to watch yourself, examine yourself, spend this year just investigating yourself. I cannot tell you how many things you will discover about yourself, good, bad, and in between. Okay. And then that will help you make changes. All right. So those are some realistic expectations. Start small, simple shifts, small hinges, swing big doors. Okay. Simple shifts, one of my big philosophies. So use positive reinforcement and habit stacking. Lots of books on habit stacking, right? So we need to celebrate small wins. We need to celebrate the fact you prepped a meal or you completed a workout or that you did 1 minute of a workout, right? That's reinforcement. So congratulate yourself. My kids and I are working on an incredibly challenging puzzle right now. And every time we get a piece, we high five each other. Okay. That's an example of a small win. Habit stacking. So if you're brushing your teeth, okay, you brush your teeth every day. So what little habit can you do before or after? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of that guy's name? Oh, I've done episodes on it, but he really talks about, oh, it's coming to me, it's gone. Oh, God, I hate it when that happens. Anyway, so after or before brushing your teeth, can you do 5 squats? Okay. Can you do 5 minutes of stretching? Can you, while you're watching television, can you, do finger exercises and put your fingers between your toes? I should do an episode on feet. I love teaching hands and feet classes. All right. So to keep yourself distracted, can you switch out your unhealthy snack for a healthy snack, even though you should not be snacking because typically you're not hungry, but that's a different thing. We all have to go where we are. So if you go from a healthy snack, if you go from an unhealthy snack to a healthy snack and then no snacking, you see how that line goes. I used to be a total nighttime eater. I don't anymore. Okay. Well, maybe 5 times a year, but after dinner, I'm done. All right. So again, habit stacking and use positive reinforcement. What about reducing barriers and building some support? All right. So practical barriers. So this can be, I think a lot of times the media has derailed us thinking that a processed food like a pizza in the oven is faster than scrambled eggs and broccoli, which I've been talking about since 2012. Okay, when I wrote a book called Healthy Snacks for Kids, and I was saying like scrambled eggs, piece of toast, some broccoli and carrot sticks is 5 minutes, right? A pizza, you got to preheat the oven, put it in there, it's 25 minutes. So you can do some really small things for getting some quick nutrition meal options and some workouts that can be done at home. I have so many videos in my Vibrant Living Academy that are 5 minutes long. Every single Monday, we do a 10 to 15 minute workout, and they're amazing. We do stretching, rolling, weightlifting, cardio, like it's different every week, 15 minutes or less, and amazing. You don't have to have long time things. So look for some wins. Okay. And, if you have a really busy schedule, maybe you do 5 squats before you get on the toilet. Maybe that's just where you are right now. Maybe you do some wall push-ups while the kettle is boiling. Okay. Don't make it so big that it's impossible, and don't discount how powerful small movements are. Right. And then use social support. Right. I was just saying it's December 31st. We did a beautiful rolling class today. And I said to my participants, I said, let's give everybody a high five. I thank you for showing up because I teach approximately 18 classes on Zoom every month. 18 times 12 is 214 approximately. So we just completed 214 workouts this year, and some of them do the classes again because you get the replay. That's amazing. So, right, that is the power of being in a community and showing up, or finding an accountability partner, or creating a sense of community where we can work with women and share our struggles and our successes. And really excited because I'm going to reopen my Move Your Body studio that's been closed during all the chaos. And I just had so much mental anguish about it, but I'm over that now. And I'm going to invite women back into my home, as well as Zoom. I'm still going to teach on Zoom, but and I have been personal training in my house, but I'm actually going to offer some classes because people have been asking me. They're like, Tanya, can you do Muscle Mania again? Can you do some rolling? So excited about that. But that's the power of community. I have so many women who say to me, I know what to do, I just don't do it. Okay, so we need that community support. All right, so there's something called CBT, which is cognitive behavioral techniques. So I'm actually a behavior change coach as well. So again, like I said, I have a lot of designations, but this is helping you to challenge your negative beliefs. So a lot of women come to me, I'll never be able to lose weight, it's too late to change. And we really need to help you identify and reframe these self-defeating thoughts, right? Because if that's the thought that's playing in your head, wow, okay, that's really hard to motivate yourself to change. So we need to challenge those negative beliefs. We need to work through them. There's a process that we can do to help go through all of that so that you can let go of those and bring in some new ones and align yourself with where you want to go. Visualization is also another really great technique where you envision yourself as a healthier, vibrant, sexy menopausal woman who's got energy and confidence and vitality, right? And I have to tell you, I mentioned this in a couple of episodes, and I'm still working on balancing out my progesterone. And again, not that I need my progesterone to be like it was in my 20s, but I have really this past year experienced deep sadness, and lack of motivation, and sorrow, which could be deep sadness. And it's really hard to feel motivated and move when you have this heaviness inside of you. So I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but I did an episode on oxytocin, which is that happy chemical, which is neuroprotective, which diminishes during menopause. So really important ways to boost this feel-good chemical. Anyway, you can go listen to that episode. All right, so back on track here, visualizing. Even in my darkest moments this past year, I have really dug into my dress, my red dress on the dance floor, my vitality, and how I want to travel and hike and all that kind of stuff. So super powerful. Okay, a couple other ones here is, you know, I see so many women, if they can't do it right, they don't do it all. So really work on some self-compassion, let go of perfection, get some flexibility in there, make some healthy choices a little bit every day, a little bit more, and that small, consistent actions lead to progress over time. So you don't need to climb the mountain tomorrow. You just need to take the first step today and then the next step tomorrow. Okay, so remember that. Incorporate some rewards and enjoyment, right? Like I honestly, my classes are freaking fun. They are fun. Even when they're hard, they're fun because they make you laugh. We do silly things. Sometimes we'll break out in a dance, right? But if you have some things that you really enjoy, right, add them in, right? Maybe cooking some healthy meals with friends could be more of enjoyment rather than doing it by yourself. And think of some non-food rewards, right? So maybe you get a new workout top or a massage or a pedicure or something, right? When you've done 2 weeks or whatever, but reward yourself. Like that is a strong motivator, and find something that is motivating to you. All right, I've done so many episodes on this, but addressing emotional eating and stress. And I still talk about this with a lot of my clients, but really watch yourself like a television. Really watch yourself like a screen and notice what is causing you to emotional eat. I'm not going to get into it here. Okay. Notice what is causing you stress. Notice if you are reacting by eating. What can you start to do? Maybe add some meditation, some rolling, some breathing, walk in nature. Okay. Get some mindfulness practices going. And for that emotional awareness, you really got to it's not the food. I'm telling you right now, it's not the food. I will put a little caveat in there because when I start eating sweets, sometimes it's hard for me to stop because of various things, which you may have as well. I've talked about those, so I'm not going to go back into them again. But when I can separate that and then focus on the emotional eating, I've really been able to identify my triggers. And I've really worked on strategies to help me move through those difficult times, that discomfort, rather than giving into it by eating and then feeling like a shitty shit because I just ate it, and then yucky and shame and guilt and all the rest of it. Okay. So another one that may be motivating for you, and the final tip for today, is to track your progress and reflect. And this is what I've done. I was always in a hurry. I didn't have time to reflect. I didn't have time. It was about the food. It was about the food. It was about the food. Do. Right. And so when I pulled back and I went on this journey to vibrant health about, I think when I was 35, 38, somewhere in there, I said, enough. I'm embracing vibrant health. My whole mindset changed. Okay. And I did so much more reflection. And where I am today is so not where I was back then. Okay. So I'm not a huge journaler. I go in and out of journaling. I talk more on my podcast. I just talk. That's my media. But maybe for you, it's talking with friends or writing it down. See how you feel, identify some patterns, celebrate your progress. And whatever, put a gold star on a chart. I don't know, whatever floats your boat. And then visualize your success. Reflect on how far you've come rather than focusing on always in the future. Look back to where you were. And I used to be someone who was like, when I ate, I would punish myself with exercise. I was into nighttime eating all the time. If I had one cookie, I had, 20. Okay. I have so many more tools in my toolbox. I have come from so far. And I feel so great about myself. I used to have way more night sweats, way more hot flashes, way more mood swings. I feel so much more centered and calm. And I'm very proud of myself with the work that I've done. So take that time. So by addressing this cognitive dissonance, okay, you can start to, again, notice what you want, where you want to go, what's the gap in between, how can we start to shift your habits so that you feel empowered and that what you're doing is sustainable. And if you would like a detailed plan or program based on these strategies, I am here to help you because this is what I do. Okay, I personal train, I teach classes, but I also do behavioral change work. I do nutrition, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the whole scope, sleep, stress, all of it, because it's your lifestyle and your habits are your lifestyle. So you have to start with habits. All right, everybody, please share this with somebody that you love, that is struggling with making some changes. This information is really helpful. You can work as a buddy system with them. You can join my Midlife Reboot program. You can reach out to me at Tanya, Tanya, at moveyourbody.ca. Anything. I am here to help you. Big healthy hugs. And I will see you on the next video.